And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you, and another mixed bag of toy news here in this very video. But of course, we've got some housekeeping to hit things off. First off, we do have a giveaway going on right now as you're watching this, hopefully on Saturday as it drops. Last chance to get in on it. Head over to my Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Head over there on Instagram. You can win Captain America Marvel Legends in honor of Kyle Peterson 2.0, my second YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that one as well. We do have this Captain America figure up for grabs. For one lucky winner, we will announce it in tomorrow's weekly purchases video. So if you want to get a part of this one, check it out tomorrow. See if you are the winner. So make sure you're checking that out. But of course, it is the month of October. Yeah, October. Almost forgot for a second. Month of October is a spooky season. This is the Patreon giveaway this month. The NECA Universal Monsters Frankenstein and the Mummy. One winner will win these. Check out the Patreon, link in the description down below once again. A lot of videos, a lot of content over there every single day. And these two will be the giveaway for the month of October. The old spooky season, as one may say. And it's also the sickness season. You guys probably watched my videos this week. My voice is almost gone. Got kind of some lung stuff. Probably working on my way to get some pneumonia in me. Oh, everybody loves pneumonia. But I don't give up. I don't take time off. I don't rest. There's no rest for the wicked. Ozzy Osbourne, when I was a little kid, I think I was about 5 or 6 years old, maybe even younger than that, but he sat me down. He picked me up, sat me on his lap. He also bounced me a little bit, as he said there, and he said, I'm going to tell you something, Kyle. I don't want you to ever forget this. No rest for the wicked. That's my mantra. That's what I live by. You know what? I'm going to name an album after it, and that's what he did. And he told me that many years ago. I would not fact check it, but if you want, feel free. Feel free. But a little under the weather. You can probably hear it in my voice, but we power through into the toy news. And we're going to start off the toy news hot with a little bit of conspiracy.
You ever wonder if they're watching your every move? Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it.
You know, I'm truly the Alex Jones of the toy industry, I think is what I am here. But we got Jesse hot on the case, and more from Jesse in this very video. But last week caused a little bit of a stir with my little Powertown talk, my little speech. So if you missed the toy news last week, I talked for like 15 minutes about what it is in this day and age to be a consumer, a customer across the board, what Powertown owes us, more like it. Went in depth in that with my feelings on Powertown, because as of right now, Powertown, they owe me over $800 worth of figures with 0 updates. But in a plot twist this week, thanks to Jesse Ventura, or maybe thanks to me. How about thanks to Jesse and me in this video? We got the attention of one Matt Cardona, of course, from the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. And Powertown might not answer me or pay attention to me, of course. And I've said very favorable things about him in their action figure lines when we've unboxed them on the channel. It's just the process of getting there is where we've had a lot of struggles. But they did answer Matt Cardona, kind of. If you watch the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast this week, Matt Cardona brought up the very video last week. The guys talked about it a little bit. And Matt did reach out to 3 people at Powertown. Magnum TA, the salt of the earth, of course, old Magnum. He was the only one that got back to Matt Cardona. And he basically said, hey, we're going to have some news probably in the next week. So what does that mean? That's not really an answer. But then Magnum put a statement there kind of as, hey, I'm a fan as well. We want to do what's best for the collectors, the community. It kind of sounded like he didn't get too deep in the weeds with some of the business stuff, but he was looking at it as a fan. So we're supposed to get an update this week. So Powertown is on the clock. And if we don't get some kind of a message or news this week, you know we're going to talk about it in the toy news next week. But obviously, it's pretty safe to say every single one of those figures will be delayed. Somebody want to place bets in Vegas? Anybody good with the odds out there? Will we see a Powertown figure delivered this year? I'm saying right now, I don't think we'll see any of that stuff delivered in 2024. Hopefully early 2025 at best. That's what my gut's telling me. Going to be very interesting what comes out of their mouths or their email, whatever you want to call it, because we said in the video last week, they love sending emails. You got 1 day left to pre-order, 2 days, 72 hours left to pre-order, but all of a sudden it has been quiet for probably over a month now, probably well over a month at this point. And Magnum also in there, he kind of gave my mantra there because he did watch the video when Matt sent him the video, and he basically said constant learning, constant improvement. That's what we're trying to do as an organization, which I can approve that. I understand everybody should do that every single day. But with that comes transparency, as we do know. So can't wait for a little update from the old Powertown crew as of next week. But
No, this didn't happen. No, 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 no. Are you kidding me?
no, it happened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the clock, I guess. But Jesse, yes, it did happen. We got more to Powertown this week. I did mention, of course, Magnum putting out that note that was shared on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast this week. Check it out for the full statement from Magnum there. But they said there'll be more info to come. We did see the Powertown website basically saying that same thing. Stay tuned for updates this week. So this coming week, they're on the clock. However, they were not done this week. Powertown very busy on announcing new toy lines, as there was an article that came out this week that Powertown has signed up to make action figures for MLW. Very interesting, of course, as we know, MLW has had figures from Boss Fight. So is that relationship on the outs? I have Boss Fight figures, I think, coming next week. So look forward to those reviews on the channel. Can't wait to get Micro Man in the collection. But we did see Powertown making figures for MLW, but we don't stop right there. They're making old school WCW Galoob style figures for MLW. So now another toy line under the Powertown umbrella, a different scale, a totally different style wrestling figure. I don't know what to think of that. Now, we knew they had the Galoob license many years ago, about a year or 2 years ago. We saw that, we heard that, we talked about it in the toy news. Nothing had came to it at this point. However, now this week they've announced MLW figures to come in the Galoob scale. I don't even know what to make of that. I don't know if people are really clamoring for the Galoob scale. We know Top Rope Collectibles has a Pia News and a Paul Orndorff and Buff Bagwell on the way. Paul Orndorff recently delayed, as we know. I don't know what to think of this Powertown mess. I think this announcement came at a terrible time with all the controversy and conspiracies from them this week. I think a lot of people are rolling their eyes, which hurts their performance of their action figure lines. I don't know anybody that's going to jump in and buy these Galoobs until they get some answers from the last series and get some of these other series shipped to them. So they're on the clock if they've ever been. It'll be interesting to hear. I hope, for Powertown's sake, this is just one business hat wearing guy to another, that they don't put up a pre-order for any of these Galoobs until at least 2 of the 4 things that are on pre-order right now ship to the consumer. Get those to the consumer before you even start taking any more money, because if they think they're going to have some good pre-orders, man, they are totally wrong. Nobody else is jumping into pre-orders until we get some of this product coming our way here. So absolutely shocked that they would release this news this week. Not the week to do it. We'll see how it works in the future for them. We're not done with conspiracies. This one hits a little close to home, and it's really not a conspiracy at all. It is the main man, the myth, the legend, old Jesse Ventura, and he put out a little message this week.
Hey everybody, Governor Jesse Ventura on Die First Then Quit. And I thought it was time that maybe I tell everybody, indeed, hell has frozen over. Yes, hell has frozen over. I'm back in the WWE as a legend. I've gone through negotiations.
And old Jesse, he's going to die first, then he's going to quit. And Jesse making the full-on revelation. We talked about this the last couple of months on the channel. I said, hold your horses. He hasn't said anything official yet. He has the contract. Yeah, just having the contract means a lot different than signing and turning it in. Well, here we are a couple months later. He has signed it. Signed, sealed, and delivered. He sent it right up there to the old WWE offices. And Jesse Ventura now under a Legends agreement. You got to think the Mattel team hard at work. I know somebody I saw in the comments saying, Oh, I bet you he'll be in the next Legends set. Well, I would pump the brakes a little bit on that there. I would fully expect a Jesse Ventura figure in 2025. It would have to probably be more like the back half, late summer at best. That would be at earliest. I don't even see that. So I think roughly a year from now, or maybe over November, December of next year, we'll see what happens with Jesse. Hopefully they do give him the big push and we get all these Jesse Ventura figures, because Jesse, we love him here. I don't know anybody that loves Jesse Ventura more than I do, but Jesse is a little bit in the weeds on a lot of things, especially politics, but I can imagine this as well. If he doesn't like something, guess what? Deal's off. I'm throwing it up, throwing it in the Baja, and we're done with it there. So if I'm Mattel, I'm putting pen to paper. I'm knocking out as many Jesse Venturas as I can, as fast as I can. You have to imagine a Coliseum Collection Ultimate will be on the way. In the Legends line, he's going to be all over that Legends line. Got to think at least 3 or 4 different looks as the announcer. We also need probably an Elite version of him wrestling that's different than the Coliseum Collection one. There is a lot to do, and I would love it if we could even get a Jesse Ventura in like a suit, maybe to represent Governor Ventura. And how about we go full on? Let's get conspiracy theory Jesse Ventura in the black leather coat. Let's get that. He's breaking bombs all day long. I'm here for that. Give me all the Jesse Venturas. Good friend of the channel. Very helpful to this channel. Helping me break down conspiracies, because conspiracies are tough. You can't do it by yourself. You need an army. You need somebody in your corner, because you know how it is. These snipers, they get on roofs and stuff. They want to take out these conspiracy theorists like myself, and Jesse's there keeping everybody honest. So he's really a watchdog, a protector of me, a halo over me, a buzz over me. That's what he is. So shout out Jesse Ventura. Exciting times ahead. A little shot of adrenaline into the WWE Mattel line hopefully next year. Talked about it last week. There's rumors Kidman has signed a Legends deal as well, and there's rumors of a TNA WWE crossover line coming as well. So a lot of cool stuff cooking out there in the streets right now. So shout out to all that. We'll see what ends up happening there. But we're not done with WWE Mattel news this week. I think we mentioned it last week, but just if we did not, we're going to do it again this week. Elite 116, we got Kevin Owens. We got AJ Styles return to the Elite line right there. Brian Pillman, another return. Brian Pillman's son, Lexus King. Jade Cargill, first time in the WWE line. And then we got Randy Orton as the Chase in Series 116. But some breaking news this week out in the leaked list, in the ether out there. It is the new SummerSlam Build-A-Figure wave. Roman Reigns, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, old Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Charlotte Flair, and Build-A-Figure, returning to the line, William Regal. Now, I would assume, you know what happens when you assume, but I'm going to assume it's Commissioner William Regal there. I would have to imagine maybe his prior Elite will get the greatest hits treatment. Maybe we'll get a man's man in the Legends line. There's a lot of meat on the bone for old William Regal. Would love to see his old school blue blood kind of Elite redone as well. They could update that. So there should be a lot of good Steve Regal figures in 2025. William Regal as well. Really a lot to look forward to, where it just felt like we were getting same old from Mattel. Now you get the Headbangers 2-pack. We're getting some new talent infused into the line, which is a pretty good deal. So a lot of collectors will be happy about those coming. And speaking of happy collectors, this week on Ringside Collectibles, discount code Kyle, save 10%, or Mattel Creations, the Dudley Boys 2-pack is up for sale. So if you're after the Dudleys, head over to one of those two places. Pick that one up for sure. That's it for WWE Mattel, but we do got a little Jazzwares news this week. The Jazzwares Vault, Ring of Honor, Nigel McGuinness, Jerry Lynn 2-pack going for sale soon. That is going to be the next 2-pack there. I gotta say, I'm a little bit angry. I don't know what the word is, but a little perturbed. I'm perturbed on the Jazzwares Vault. I buy these things right away. I get my order in, and I guess I'm a fool. I should look myself in the mirror. But it's always a week later, 2 weeks later, they got some sale. I think right now they have like 25% off Jazzwares Vault. So it really it puts a pain point on the ones that are really supporting that line from the get-go. Honestly, I should have just waited to buy Brody Lee, waited 2 weeks, and bam, I can save 25%. So they got to work that out. They got to make these plans better, because eventually people are going to say, hey, wait a minute here. I'm just going to wait for a sale. It's like a grocery store around me. They have a health markets in every single store. We know health market stuff is expensive. What do these stores do? Every Wednesday, 25% off all things at the health market. Hey, that's great. But if you constantly buy health market items, why would you ever go to that store unless it's 25% off? Now the value is 25% less. You're not going to go buy it on a Monday. You're not going to buy it on a Saturday. You're only going to do it on a Wednesday. And the vault's got to be careful because they keep doing this 25% off or free shipping or whatever. It's going to train the consumer to only buy when those happens. They're going to make less money. So if they wanted 25%, that's great, but save that for Thanksgiving. Save that for a biannual sale or something, because people aren't stupid. People aren't dumb. They're going to fall into those tricks. They're going to understand what they're doing, and they're just going to wait for a sale going forward, and that's not going to be good for the Jazzwares Vault. So wanted to mention that as well. Whoa, stop the clock. We got a little bit more info later this afternoon after I filmed the video, of course, about Walmart Collectors Con next week. Be there or be square. But we do got some WWE Monday Night War reveals. Looks like we'll have a new pre-order. Going to be the Golga Build-A-Figure wave. So if you're after the Earthquake, of course, when he moved over to Golga, that's where you're going to find him in that set. We're also going to get Hardcore Hack, of course, the former Sandman part of that. Kane, no stranger to the Elite line, of course. British Bulldog, one Davey Boy Smith, no stranger to action figures in general as of late. And then last but certainly not least, sounds like we're going to get Booker T. And Booker T will be the chase in the latest wave of the Monday Night Wars. Not done there. We're also going to have DC McFarlane Toys. Lightning Lad. Oh, laddie. Lightning Lad coming to that one there as well. So a few things coming to Walmart Collectors Con. Should be a little bit more clearer as we lead up to the event. We'll all keep our fingers crossed. We'll see how that ends up going. We also saw a little leak this week. Looks like New York Comic-Con, as we know, right around the corner. Looks like Faker will be the Comic-Con for Mondo. Of course, part of the He-Man and the Masters Universe line. Now, I have the old Faker. Do I need this one? I guess we'll wait and see when we get some more looks at that one there. But a little bit of updates in the toy news. Moving on to some other wrestling news. We've talked about the Major Bendy's Bug Rubber guys many a times here on the channel. I'm all in on the big rubber guys. But there's another company we mentioned for making their Macho Man figures in the LJN style, and that is Latuni. Well, this week, Latuni making a massive Andre the Giant figure this week. A huge Andre. He's 10 inches tall, so he's very tall, and then he's even taller with his hands up in the air. It looks good for what it is. I don't know if we need that Andre. It's kind of like the Andre from LJN, the black strap, which a lot of people want, so this fits a hole for people that can't afford that one. And it's like that Andre, instead of being crouched, he's fully standing up. So it does look a little interesting, especially next to that Hulk Hogan, but we got to remember that Hulk Hogan figure is crouching as well. So it'll be interesting how this one does. I'm very interested in this line, but gosh, how much stuff can I collect? There's so much stuff going around. I want to. I'm thinking about it. We'll see what ends up happening. But if you're after that Andre the Giant, it is available now. Now we turn our attention over to the retro wrestling world. KWK, no strangers here on this channel. I got to get around to unboxing the Yoshitatsus that we got on weekly purchases last week. But the next one is La Resistance, many versions of La Resistance. Pre-order ends October 31st, the end of this month. Of course, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% over at the KWK store. But it is available for pre-order. If you're looking for La Resistance, now's your time to shine. Just a couple weeks left on that pre-order over there. Hastel Toys coming in hot with the grapplers and gimmicks this week. New York Comic-Con exclusive part 2. Last week we talked about British Bulldog. This week, Sensational Sherry coming totally out of left field. Looking really, really good. This looks great. It pairs, obviously, with the Hasbro Shawn Michaels. Very cool, and apparently he does have the license to Sensational Sherry. There's a lot of different looks for Sherry that can go with your Macho Kings, your Macho Mans, Nasty Boys. There's a lot of... I guess I'm thinking Missy Hyatt with the Nasty Boys, but... there's a lot of places Sensational Sherry could go in retro lines. So be interested to see what other Sensational Sherrys we do get in the future. I thought that was a really cool one. Check that out over at Grapplers and Gimmicks. Zombie Sailor Toys as well. They've got 1 week left to order his early bird discount, I guess, for his latest wave there. So if you're after that, hit up Zombie Sailor Toys. He also announced a New York Comic-Con exclusive, Matt Cardona, basically a repaint of the 2-pack. This one non-bloody. So pre-match, post-match, you'll be able to get that. Have to think that'll sell really well. A lot of Cardona fans out there that we do know. We also saw the Ash Army of Darkness. We talked about that last week. Perfect for the Halloween season. Everybody loves Bruce Campbell, don't they? Zombie Sailor Toys apparently does, because they have that one coming around the corner as well. But that is it for wrestling. We're going to turn our attention over to a little He-Man Mattel Masters of the Universe. We saw that 40th anniversary, is that what we're going to call it, Skeletor. We saw it, of course, originally as a 2-pack at San Diego Comic-Con. Now getting a single release, much like the He-Man, with some tweaks, of course. But it looks like that'll be going up in the Walmart Collectors Con next Thursday, Friday. I believe it's a 2-day event. We got that one going right there. We also saw Mattel Creations with that deluxe Horde Trooper. We saw that at San Diego Comic-Con. That is the next Mattel Creations exclusive. Another big old army builder figure there. I'm looking at just probably picking up 2 of these. I'd like 3, but I think 2 is where I'm going to settle in at. But if you're after that, you know where to go. We also saw from Mattel this week some of those new cool posters. We got the Turtles of Grayskull going on, and we got the cartoon collection. Very cool to see a cartoon, kind of a translucent Skeletor. We also saw Faker. Instead of course, thinking back to the figure where it was blue, this is more traditional He-Man Faker with the different eyes. So thought that was really cool, part of the cartoon collection. It'd be interesting with some of these Snake Men crossovers and the Turtles of Grayskull as well. And there's kind of a new 2-pack for like Horde sketch editions or something like that going there. Going to be interesting how deep they go into that. A lot of people want concept art for the Masters of the Universe. I guess we'll wait and see how those do perform. But we got some new stuff coming for the end of the year, I guess. Probably pre-orders, probably early next year, shipping to stores and online retailers, of course. We also see this week from Super 7, another Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. This time we got the Pit Fighter Conan Bloody Edition. So Big Bad Toy Store for their 25th anniversary keeps on coming with these exclusives. You can get that over there if you want to. Todd McFarlane not on the couch, but his pants and socks are still sitting over there. I just keep waiting. I was like, he's got to come back eventually. I mean, he's not going to just leave without pants on. I can't imagine how he got too far with no shoes, no socks, no pants, no underwear, as I see as well. So he's just wandering the streets still, and it's getting a little cold at night. We're deep into fall right now with winter on the way. Long story short, Todd, come home. Come home, Todd. We miss you. We miss you. The couch is warm for you. My wife just got a heated blanket. You can use that all day long, but put some pants on first. Come on there. But Todd did announce, obviously Todd, it came through his channels, not necessarily him, but new Walmart exclusives to the DC Multiverse line. We got a very good Superman and a very good Green Lantern, so a lot of people are going to want to pick these 2 up. Heavy hitters, no variants, no kind of tomfoolery with these ones. It's just straight up Superman and Green Lantern. Got to think those will perform pretty well out at the stores, of course. And then the final piece this week from NECA, we got the NECA street scene for the cartoon line, of course. A lot of people missed out on that back in the day. It is up for pre-order once again, so if you need that to go with your Donatello's Lab, any of that kind of stuff, you got another opportunity to get those. Very nice street scenes. Can also be used for other stuff if you really wanted it to be. And they did announce on Friday, 50th anniversary of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, an all-timer. If you've never seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do yourself a favor this Halloween. Watch that movie. It is so good. But Leatherface Ultimate coming from NECA, 50th anniversary edition. Got my ears perked on that one. I'm going to check that one out most likely. And probably here on one of the YouTube channels. Make sure you subscribe to both of them, of course. But that is the toy news for this week, which means we got to segue into the next segment, which is Album of the Week. All right, time for the Album of the Week. And Album of the Week, I didn't realize it until I just kind of started looking at my notes here, but I guess it gives a little bit of that spooky vibe, as they got a skeleton on the front of the album cover there. So we're keeping it Halloween here, even in the Album of the Week, apparently. But this week, I was scrolling through my music, like, what haven't I listened to in a long time? And I forgot all about this band, but one of my absolute favorites from a few years back, they had a new album come out just this summer. I have not checked that one out yet, so I'm very anxious this weekend to check their new album out. But we're going back to the first album. The band is called Duel. Album is Fears of the Dead. So a very nice, crunchy rock album if you're into that kind of thing. Kind of gives me a Fu Manchu Clutch type vibe. A little stoner rock, maybe, I guess, could be in there as well. Almost like motorcycle music, you could say it. So it fits a lot of good categories we like here. Maybe a little Orange Goblin. Shout out to Orange Goblin as well. But a very, very good band, a very tight-knit band. If you've never seen them before, worth checking out. I think I saw them in Omaha, Nebraska, maybe 5 years ago, something like that. But definitely worth checking out this album. They've had a few albums since. They've had some live albums. And like I said, just had a new album coming out. So one of those bands that I just kind of forgot about. Out of sight, out of mind. Rediscovered this week. Can't wait to check out the new album. So check out the band Duel, Fears of the Dead, and the rest of their category, or the rest of their albums if you want to. But that is my album of the week. Be interested to hear what your album of the week is. in the comments below. But there it is, another week of toy news in the bag. What are you excited for? What news got you excited? Probably Jesse Ventura, I'm sure. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Always helps the channel. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel. Don't forget about the Patreon. Got giveaways going over there. Instagram giveaway. Got one more day to enter, so jump in on that if you have not already. And then, of course, don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget to hit me up on social media. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. And on Instagram. And of course, my book, now newly released on Kindle. It is the complete guide to the WWE Jakks Class Superstars series, available now. So for another toy news of the week, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another weekend.